Let's move on to a much more simpler and easier member of the royal family to talk about. Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor.
That uncomplicated chap.
There's no drama there, is there?
Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor has now made his first visit to the farmhouse on the Sandringham estate, where he is expected to live once he finally leaves Royal Lodge. And according to multiple reports, that visit did not go well. In fact, several outlets are now claiming that Andrew was visibly angry, upset, and openly furious when he saw the property for the first time. One source went as far as to describe it as a tantrum. I've heard the word Andrew and tantrum come together often. This is reporting from The Mirror, The Daily Mail, Hello magazine, and follow-up coverage from royal correspondents who have been tracking this move very closely. Yet again, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor has claims against him, demonstrating entitled behaviour that's quite frankly troubling. So today, I want to walk through exactly what happened during that visit, what we know about the farmhouse itself, why Andrew appears so furious about it, and what this moment says about where his life actually is right now.
Look, we've been up to what we believe is a place called Marsh Farm. It's at Sandringham. Yeah. We've been looking at it this week, the last couple of days, and a lot of security fences are going up. A lot of work's being done on getting this house into shape for a former prince.
And toward the end, we will also touch on two things that keep coming up in recent reporting. The growing talk that Andrew could eventually relocate to another country entirely, allegations that this move to Sandringham is just a PR stunt, and the increasingly strained situation between him and Sarah Ferguson. Let's start with the visit itself. Andrew recently travelled to the Sandringham estate in Norfolk to inspect Marsh Farm, a 5-bedroom farmhouse located several miles from the main Sandringham house. This was his first known visit to the property, which has been empty for years and is still undergoing renovation. According to reports, Andrew was seen walking the site, reviewing renovation progress, and dealing with practical details like measurements for curtains. On the surface, that sounds fairly routine, but multiple sources suggest his reaction behind the scenes was anything but calm. The Mirror reported that Andrew was appalled by the property and described it as pokey and ramshackle.
We think that it should be, or we're led to believe, that he should be out of or into his permanent home by Easter. However, he could be out of Royal Lodge and into a temporary place by the time of his birthday, his 66th birthday next month. These photos of Marsh Farm, it's a ramshackle place. It's run down. Is he?
One source told the Daily Mail that he really didn't want Marsh Farm and had not lived anywhere that small since leaving his apartment at Buckingham Palace decades ago. That detail matters. Andrew is not just moving house. He is moving from a 30-room mansion in Windsor Great Park to a 5-bedroom farmhouse that, by all accounts, still has visible issues. Royal Lodge, where Andrew has lived for over 20 years, is a vast property. 30 rooms, extensive grounds, privacy, and the status that comes with it. Marsh Farm, even once renovated, is simply not comparable. And Andrew knows that. According to reporting, his anger was not just about size. There were other factors that clearly did not sit well with him. During his visit, pest control activity was observed at the farmhouse. The exact reason has not been officially confirmed. Some allegations point to a rat problem, but the presence of pest control vehicles was enough to spark headlines. There have also been reports that the property could be at risk of flooding, given its location and condition. Now, to be fair, renovations are ongoing. Security has been upgraded, including CCTV, a 6-foot perimeter fence, and additional monitoring. Broadband is being installed. Landscaping and screening are reportedly planned to address privacy concerns, as the farmhouse lies close to a public route. To most people, including myself, this home would be an absolutely lovely place to move into.
Be happy there, Arthur.
Well, I mean, people describe the Sandringham estate as not very nice, but I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, it's just tree lined. It's absolutely where that farm is. It's not on. It's over by the other side of the road. You know, it's not in the actual estate, but it's part of it.
I would be quite pleased with it. But of course, Andrew felt very, very differently, and his reaction left people stunned. Royal author Robert Jobson told Hello magazine that Andrew seems to be kicking his heels and making it clear to the king and courtiers that he is not going quietly. Jobson described him as dragging his feet and resisting the reality of his situation, even though the decision has already been made. And this is where the timing becomes important. Removal vans have now been seen at Royal Lodge. Andrew is expected to fully vacate the property before his birthday in mid-February, at which point the keys will be formally returned to the Crown Estate. This is the end of his time at Royal Lodge, whether he likes it or not. Until Marsh Farm is fully ready, Andrew is expected to stay at Wood Farm Cottage on the Sandringham estate. That cottage was previously used by Prince Philip, but it is smaller and very much a temporary solution. One source quoted in recent reports claimed that Andrew has now come to terms with the move and understands that this is his future. That may be true on paper, but his reported reaction during the visit suggests that emotionally, he is still struggling to accept how far he has fallen. In October last year, Andrew was stripped of his remaining royal titles and honours. Buckingham Palace stated that this reflected serious lapses of judgment and reiterated the king's sympathy for victims and survivors of abuse. Andrew continues to deny all allegations relating to his association with Jeffrey Epstein, but his position within the royal family has been fundamentally altered. This move to Sandringham is not just about housing. It is about containment. It places him away from Windsor, away from London, away from the centre of royal life. And that brings us to the question of Sarah Ferguson. Sarah Ferguson has continued to live at Royal Lodge alongside Andrew for years, despite their divorce in 1996. That arrangement has always been unusual, but recently reporting suggests that their relationship is no longer as friendly as it once was. Several outlets have suggested that Sarah is also expected to leave Royal Lodge, though her future accommodation has not been confirmed. What is striking is that recent articles no longer describe them as a united front. Instead, there are hints of distance, frustration, and a sense that Fergie has cut him off completely, along with his daughter Eugenie. There have even been claims that Andrew is now interested in dating again.
This house, Samara? It's a
No,
big old house
no
that's
way.
been put together. No?
He doesn't. He barely deserves to be put up anywhere, in my opinion. I mean, genuinely. I know you disagree with me, Arthur, but...
Well, listen, I'm not saying any more about it because people don't like me hearing this.
No.
And it's true. I mean...
No, I think you're just fair when it comes to Andrew, and I think you look at, forgiveness and allowing people to move on, which is part of the debate, which is absolutely fine.
This is what I think the king wants as well. That's why he's doing this. He's putting the...
Whether that is realistic or not is another question entirely, but the fact that it is being reported at all tells you something about how their dynamic has shifted. For years, Sarah was seen as his most loyal supporter. If that support is fading, Andrew's isolation becomes even more stark. And this is where the Bahrain rumours come back into focus. For some time now, there have been reports suggesting that Andrew could eventually relocate to the Middle East. Bahrain is mentioned most often. These rumours are not new, but recent coverage has suggested a renewed seriousness to them. The tone has shifted from maybe to when. Sources have pointed to Andrew's long-standing connections in the region and the possibility that a quieter life abroad could suit him, especially once he is fully removed from royal properties in England. If that happens, this move to Sandringham may only be temporary, a holding pattern rather than a final destination. When Andrew stood there for the first time, looking at a smaller house, ongoing renovations, pest control activity, and the clear message that this is all he gets, it is perhaps not surprising that he reacted badly. Whether you believe the word tantrum is fair or exaggerated, the consistent reporting across multiple outlets points to one thing. He was not happy. He did not hide it, and those around him noticed. This move marks the end of an era, the end of Royal Lodge, the end of any lingering illusion that Andrew still lives as a senior royal. That is, of course, if this is actually happening. Some allegations have even been made that the scenes of renovations, moving trucks and the like, are just a PR ploy, and there is no real intent for him to move there. What comes next is uncertain. Will he stay quietly in Norfolk? Will Bahrain become reality? Will his personal relationships continue to unravel? Those answers are still unclear. But one thing is very clear. This was not the future he imagined for himself. And I'll leave you with this question. Do you think Andrew will ever truly accept this new reality? Or is a move abroad the only way he sees forward from here? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to stay up to date on the latest royal family developments, make sure you're subscribed.